Hello folks and welcome to the first game of the season for New Zealand to the World with the Wellington Phoenix Season 2. It's been a long off season. It's like 4 months between games, if that. May to, it's October. So the pre-season's been done and dusted. We're going to cover some things. I've got a little notes on a subway tissue. So we'll get into those and we'll cover them bits and bobs. You'll see a few for the webcam. The main thing I think we're going to put the camera on, but you'll also see some little snippets as we go. Without the webcam, these will be just things that have cropped up during the off season there that I want to just focus on. Some of the little tiny things really, but I just want to add to the picture. So without further ado, we'll probably kick into those first and then we'll go over the list and then it will be kickoff. So join me for another adventure. Let's kick it on. Now, just some commercial activity that's been going on, so we're still here just into early June. Season's going to tick over, and finalise very soon. So just part of the pre-season and a little bit look at here. Some commercial success here, additional kit sponsors, a new 3-year deal with 1.4 million. The previous deal, it's 60k up on the previous deal. Fantastic. We've got a total of 3 new deals as well. So sponsorship 2.41 million, corporate hospitality up 2.57, match day commercial retail, some really good financials there. Broadcast revenues were down, competition prize money was up obviously because we won the A-League. And also merchandise, I quite like this bit here, I'll show you some shirts. You know how much merchandise we made, and 2,390 shirts were sold, and the following shirt names would have particularly sold well. Eugene, Hurdle, Singh at the 3rd, Brown 4th, and Calabria 5th. Interesting there. We've also been given an additional scouting budget of 81k for the forthcoming season. So it's going to allow things to change up a bit and hopefully spread out and find some more players. And, obviously with the additional costs. You've got to love these things. Exciting, and it helps our finances at the end of the day. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. The Phoenix 2022-23 A-League fixtures have been released. So let's just kick into what's in front of us really here. The opening day is going to see us travelling to the Central Coast. We will take on the Central Coast Mariners. So it should be a good match there. And the final day's season is going to be home against Sydney FC. So always an entertaining match there, especially at home. And if I remember, I've got some good sound effect to go with that one. And there's our 5 fixtures there, first 5 fixtures for you. Central Coast, Brisbane Roar, Newcastle Jets, Melbourne Victory, and Adelaide. So not a bad little kick-off, that's for sure. We've also received, as we've shown some of the sponsorship stuff, we have received 1.54 million for the TV rights over next season. Excellent. And let's just have a look at our financial situation now. So that's certainly helped. 4.9, just under 5 million in the kitty now, thanks to the sponsorship deals and also the TV rights and everything else. So that's good. I can now hopefully going to ask for some facilities to be increased. Expectations, well, as you've seen, we have signed the new contract, guys. I will touch on that in the profile, but I have mentioned it here, and I will mention that we have had discussions and I have signed a new contract. I'll go into the details further on. But these are the predetermined, pretty much the expectations, I guess, qualify from the A-League regular season. So we've got to be in the qualifying spots. I like that. FFA Cup, they don't give a damn. Fair enough. Transfer budget of 625k and 66,000 per week. We're going to struggle with that 66k, I believe. Okay, so now, we've got the A-League title odds for the upcoming season. And I did see it earlier on a, when they highlight the teams for the upcoming season. I find it interesting that they're giving us 72-1 odds. we should be avoiding the embarrassment of finishing bottom. Now, tell me something here, Football Manager. I'm presuming it's something in the background. How the hell does a team that won the double last season suddenly for this season have 70-1 odds, and they suggest that we will finish bottom? I mean, let's just also get into this. Let's just see here. If we go here to overview, season preview, right? Probably the same. 8th place is where they suspect we will finish. Now, the board have got a better understanding and grip of reality, and they expect us to make the playoffs. And that's the minimum expectation. I'd really love to see just how that crap is generated. I know it's got a lot to do with players you lose and players you sign, but surely it's got to surely take into account more than that. It's got to be somewhere, because it just doesn't make sense to me. A little rant there, guys, going into the next season. Going into the next game, which is coming up. Yeah, anyway. Back to you. Just some top goal scorer odds at the beginning of the season for the A-League. It's quite noticeable here that the Wellington Phoenix player, Alex Shakespeare, I have no idea why they're giving him 8-1 odds to top the goal scoring charts when he's not really going to be a starter. I guess it's because he's played in a lot of our pre-seasons because of injury. Interesting. And we also have up here the top player odds from Sports Pizza. We've got 2 players in the list here. So Sean Calabria for the Phoenix 6-1 odds, and Eugene as well at 14-1. So a couple of interesting little bits here as we go into second to last friendly. Okay, so yeah, those are some little bits and pieces, some snippets, a little bit of a rant there regarding the odds and things that's happened. So all that happened in the pre-season. So what we're going to do, the Phoenix themselves, their reputation didn't go up much. As you can see, it's still kind of like, the 2.5. We're not going to cover that today. We're not going to cover the profile. We are going to cover some of the news articles that's happened. First of all, I think what we're going to do is we are going to cover the transfers. I like to cover these first and the transfer history. As you'll see in front of us, not much activity. We've only spent 185k. Now, the potential was higher. A big hoo-ha regarding Cangridge. You may remember him from the time at North Shore United. I was looking at him as an option for the wings on the wingers, as I mentioned in the last episode, for areas of improvement. Well, considering we're asking too much, it ended up being like 1.2 million with, reductions and things over time. And I was okay with that. We kind of played them a little bit, and I found a couple of gems, cheaper gems, I think would be better off for us. And then the preseason kind of worked. But let's get into those things that have happened. And if you are eagle-eyed and have been noticing, the name on top of this list is Amanicus. Yes, we were able to bring in Amanicus on a free transfer. How was that possible? Because his contract expired and he didn't want to renew it. So Amanicus joins us as a full-time player. We won't have to cover him too much, but there we go. So obviously you can see he's been on loan with us for 2 seasons. Spent quite a bit of time with Udinese, and then the loans there to Tubize and Melbourne City. So, I'm going to pick him up. He performed so well last season, 28 appearances, 10 goals, 5 assists, and 7.26 average rating. We can't complain about that. I'm really happy we managed to get him, and he can train, we can develop him, and things like that. So fantabulous. Next player. This was signed kind of like January of last season, the window. Just a young goalkeeper. As you'll see there, he is only 18. I think he will develop. He's developing already. You can see by those green arrows. He's currently being tutored as well by Singh, the goalkeeper. So hopefully, I mean, it will help his development. But he will be the main goalkeeper for the reserves and possibly the youth team. We got him for 5.5k. The next guy here from Bury, Pike. So we brought him in. He was available on the transfer. He'd been on my list for a while, probably most of last season. And he popped up as another scout report came on. You know how this game, they kind of just rehash some of them if you're on your list. And I was going through the Kangrid hoo-ha, and I saw him, and I thought, your striker centre, attacking midfield, right, left centre. So we got him on a 4-week loan, and he worked well for us. So I managed to pick him up, and we picked him up fairly reasonably too. I was pretty happy with the fee we picked him up for, 180k. We've signed him for a few years there too. So I think he will do well. I just want to have a better look at the stats there as we go through. We are working, I believe, on his stamina to try and just get that improved a little bit. And then we are going to be looking at his marking as well. Oh, I'm sorry, not his marking. He's down as a striker. We are primarily going to be playing him as a attacking midfielder on the left when Aminicus isn't around, or a backup on the right as well. He will slot in either place. He's more natural for the attacking roles than he is just for the basic midfielder roles, but he is accomplished in those, and that's where we're going to look at moving him to. Done well so far in the pre-season. Next guy we signed was Riley Thugart. We got this guy on a freebie. To be honest, I didn't get him on the freebie. The reserves manager, youth, one of those other guys. He did all the deals and wheeling and dealing, and I just approved the final contract. Excuse me, as I do my eye. I thought he was pretty good. I mean, 20 years old, he's got some good stats. I think he may work out fairly well. The big thing for us, I think it's free. The big thing for me is getting Pike there. We obviously, you knew, I did mention this going into the last season, that Epifano was leaving us. He went to Newcastle Jets, and Roy Krishna is on loan to Joondalup, mainly because no one wanted him. He wasn't going to be playing this season. He was going to be a reserves player. And now you may wonder, well, where's all the other players coming from? Where's all the other depth? Well, that's it. I'm actually going to take a punt here on youth. I've been playing a lot of the guys who last season played primarily in the reserves, and they've stepped up a lot this year in the pre-season, so it's early days, but I am going to be relying on a lot of them as secondary and subs. So that's what we're going to do, just having a bit of faith. You know, that's what it is. And we'll cover those quickly here too. The guys I'm talking about basically is going to be Marso Bonetto, so you can have a quick look at him there. We brought him in last season. He's here till 2025. I like the look of him. He's been playing well. We've also James Simovic. We are retraining him as a defensive centre, mainly because Calabria is leaving probably at the end in January because of that contract deal when he went to Benfica. Can't rely on him. Alex Shakespeare is another guy who's come from the reserves. He's been playing a lot in the pre-season, and you would have seen in the last snippet he was even mentioned in one of those goal-scoring things. There's another one, Francesco Flore, a defensive left. He's been playing well in the pre-season, and formerly is currently injured, so he's going to start at least 1 or 2 more games. There's Pike, as mentioned, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's the newbies for you. Now, let's just have a look at Mal. So we had a couple of clubs sniffing around, and so I decided to offer Mal a contract. And so, yeah, he got his contract extended. I was pretty happy with the contract, and it's 1.4, well, 1,400 per week seems quite excessive there. But I think he's worth it. He's signed a long-term deal with us now until 2025. We also, Vidicic, I know I did mention my idea was to get him in as a staff/player. Wouldn't have a bar of it. And I thought, look, we'll try you out for another season. And if worst case scenario and main plan was you're going to be in the reserves and helping out that team there, So he is on a contract there till the end of the season. However, he does have a 1-year extension clause after 10 games on the first team. So there is that possibility. But I'm also going to try and, during this course of the season, have that staff role inserted into maybe any potential contract changes. Obviously, we've mentioned Amanicus, so it was a great deal to get him. Really happy. Spencer Parelata, where is he? At the top of the list, Robert Spencer. So again, another player we have extended his contract through, and we also managed to add in a $2.7 million clause. And remember, these are New Zealand dollars. So again, he's here until 2024, and he's also got a 15-game 1-year extension clause, so I can do that as well. So potentially 2026. Brown. Now, Brown has been injured a lot in the preseason, got a fair main injury. He's come back recently, slowly getting into the shape and form. Again, we updated his contract, mainly because we had a couple of teams sniffing around. His clause was only 1.7, so we've actually increased his contract clause, release clause, to $2 million, and also given him an additional 1-year extension clause of 15 games. So if he plays that in his last season, he would go. So potentially he's here till 2027. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I have faith in him. Sarpreet Singh. He came up in the last game of the season. He had a contract extension for a trigger, and I just decided to push the button. So he's been extended now to 2024. I think that's worth it, to be honest. I mean, he's only 23, so we've got another 2 years. Well, 2024. So, yeah, we've got another 2 years out of him at least. Potential there. A couple of other things while we're talking contracts. I signed a contract extension. They gave me 4,000. The board came to me fairly early in the season asking if I wanted to have some talks. I also negotiated or wanted some philosophies changed. One of those was, as you may have seen, that to develop players within our own system rather than just bringing in youth players. So that worked. And I also asked them for, and they agreed to, the improvement on the training facilities. As you can see here in front of you, it's in progress. It's due to be completed 22nd of November of this year. We will have upgraded training facilities. So I'm pretty happy with that. If we have a look at our facilities now, training facilities currently are average. So that would probably go up to, I don't know, adequate or good. Not really too sure what the next level is. If you guys know what the next level after average is, let me know. It'd be great down there in the comments there. That's pretty much all is there for now. Finances, well, we got a boost in the finances. A lot of that's gone now, unfortunately. Just a lot of costs. We are on our wage budget. We do have a little bit of transfer kitty left. I don't envision any spending unless something comes up. So just touch on here the schedule now. We're not going to go in hoo-ha. Knocked out of the FFA Cup, disappointingly, in the first round by Newcastle Jets. I take a bit of a blame here because about 3 weeks prior, the team came back from for pre-season training, and I didn't arrange any friendlies. Purposely, I thought, what we'll do, we're just going to have 3 weeks of intense, very, very high fitness training. And then we'll go through and do our friendlies. That kind of came up in the middle, as it always does. And I didn't change anything. I've arranged some fixtures afterwards, but nothing prior. So I think it was a flat game. I'm glad it wasn't live com because it was boring. It would have been boring. And just a note here, Benfica, because of obviously the Calabria deal, we were able to organise a friendly, a respectable 3-1 loss. We got also $8,000 for a TV out of that. So it was a bit of a extra show, if you like. And overall, you can see the stats there against, minor teams. Notable teams are Tasman and Team Wellington, who play in Waitakere, who play in the New Zealand Premiership. But that's all about it. Today, it's all about Central Coast. So without further ado, let's get into the game the team has been selected. Actually, no, we've got no need to cover injuries. You can see them there pretty much. Thornley, he's been out for a wee while. He's due to come back in within 6 to 2 weeks. Twisted an ankle during a few games ago. I can't remember, the Waitakere game, I think it was. Anyway, so in goal we have Singh Sandhu, Galloway, the moaning, groaning, unhappy man who's still angry about Paraki leaving a year and a few months ago. Get over yourself, Galloway, on the right. Eugene and Mullen there in the centre. Mullen is in because of internationals again at this stage of the season. Internationals are flipping crazy. I've even withdrawn a couple, like Singh, for example, and someone else, I can't remember. Singh and Lewis were withdrawn from their respective friendly squads because of it too. And we're still missing 4 players because of internationals. Flore, the youngster, he's in obviously because Thornley is injured. Hall on the right there of midfield with Lewis and Spencer Peralta in the midfield, and Pike, as you can see, very uncomfortable playing in that position, but that's where he's playing today because Amicus is on international duty. Singh as the shadow striker and Brown up front. Now Brown, this hasn't, again, like I mentioned, has only just come back from injury. So we've covered a few things. It's going to be a long episode. I do apologise for that, but I think it's important to kind of dust off, get a few of those things out of the way, give you an idea of where we are and what we're looking at. So I'm going to leave you for a moment as we click in, and we will see you when it's kickoff. And there's the lineups, folks, as you can see. 4-4-2, basically 4-4-2. I could call this a 4-4-2. All right, let's get into the dressing room there. Greenacre encouraged. It's the usual jibber-jabber sort of deal anyway. We're going to go calm. Now, we're actually going to go a bit assertive here. I'm putting a lot more pressure on this team this season. I don't care about this avenge loss shit. I think that's a crap team talk. We're just going to go, I'm expecting you to win tonight, boys. Yes, we are. Tunnel, let's have a look and see what happens. The team has been heavily impacted by international call-ups. How do you see that affecting the match? Calmly, we look to it positive as an opportunity for some of those players to step up and make an impression. Yep, we'll do that. How much of a boost is Joey Doyle's absence from your chances? I don't care. I'm just going to go no comment. You've left Liam Rose out. Is that due to his recent injury problems? Yep. Phoenix suffered defeat. I don't care, so I'm not even going to even entertain looking at those as we walk out for the first game of the season. We are playing away at Central Coast, and that's an impressive-looking stadium, I must say. All right. Let's see if I can get some Russ. Hall to nobody, and the game is finished. No, joking. All right, guys, I do appreciate all the support I'm getting from you guys too. I am loving still this series. It may be dragging on for you. Like, I mean, I've only, 6 years in now. Perhaps more of you expected me to be at different clubs, but it is what it is. I'm taking it as I see it, and I'm enjoying it. As Central Coast come up there and take the first shot at goal. Just a big shout out to, obviously Bobby G, ongoing support. I really thank you, mate. You're a fantabulous fella, and it's good to see you putting some content still out there. Bood, of course, can't thank you enough for all the help and support as well. And the recent plugs, it's just been, humbling. Rampant, it's great to have you back. I haven't officially said that on a video. It's fantastic to have you back, mate. I really did miss your content while you go. Brown missed it so much, he missed that just on purpose for you. I urge you guys, everyone, to check those 3 channels out. They're putting out fantastic content, and I just want to thank everybody else for watching this and your support, especially for this series, and also some of you here who are flicking in and having a maybe a cheeky look at the Jurassic World Evolution one, as Brown goes to town and follows up with a goal. Got to remember, I'm on camera again with this. This hopefully, Brown went to town. Oh, lovely. I think the camera's a little bit big, so we may just bring that down. Let's see if we can just change that up a bit. And hopefully it's not just too distracting for you. And there we go. That is how we go. 1-0 up. Phoenix as we're hitting the half-time mark. And no team shout, no team. Just let's get into it. Everyone's looking motivated. That's good. Peralta's a little bit knackered, but that's fine. Half-time, don't pay attention much to the rest of that stuff. Okay, so half-time, I do appreciate the efforts. I think we can do better, but we're going to keep it up, okay? Yes, we are. And it's good to see Galloway, you're not looking uninterested or complacent. Oh, I'll tell you what, I just can't stand him. I've never hated a computer player or computer person so much. Have you ever had a player like that who just for no reason or a small pathetic reason, in your opinion, just bitches and moans for a whole season? I mean, a whole season and a bit. I mean, I think, yeah, it was May last season when I took over and he started having a cow there because I got rid of Paraki and he's still mentioning it. Oh, I tell you what, it's just crazy. And I've agreed with him. If a club came in with a good offer, we would let him have a chat with the club. Nobody's come in. That was just shit. Go away. Good on you, moaning, groaning. I think I might nickname him here. As we concede. And Galloway, just talking about the prick, and he's just given us he's given a goal away right here, and it was Brown. I apologise, Galloway, just because it was on the right there. I thought it was you. Brown just cocked that up, and Georgie, Gallus, whatever, just, yeah, no chance there. We're going to tell them I'm going to demand more from them. Singh, nice ball. Hall's on the end of it. He's good crossing. Crosses it too deep, though. Spencer's there. And dispose. Now, yeah, Eugene's there to clean up as his job. Goes wide, finds Flore. Goes into Lewis, who goes long. Nice ball there. Brown can get onto the end of it. Yes, he can. But he's tackled. And there was no support much there for Brown anyway. But still, I do want to see a little bit more from you. We are going to go... No, we are going to stay control here. I don't think we're going to change it. Come on, Singh. Brown... Yes, son! Yes! Brown goes to town. Again, 2 to the Phoenix, 1. Speaking of Bobby G, the gold standard shirt's on tonight. So I'm my man, Boob. If you want to order these shirts, I'm pretty sure he's still got them available. Have a look at his channel. The links are in his descriptions of his videos there too. Give him a support. Bood, I want you to get a Patreon, mate. I want to be able to support you and just help you out because I love what you do. And Rampant, something for you too, mate. Nice little Rampant design. Okay, so 2-1 here. They're coming at us. I think we will stay at control. I don't really... We will stay control for now. Nice ball there. Brown's on the end of it. Oh, and he smashes it home. This is the way. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Okay. We are the Phoenix, and don't feck us off because we are going to take the title back to Wellington. We are going to do some substitutions. Yes, okay, so we are going... Oh, Singh and Brown are just playing fantastic. Brown has picked up a knock. So, we are going to put Mao on as I said, we're going to put Mao on as a poacher because he plays there brilliantly. Pike's doing well. We got Rose. I think we will... everyone's playing well. I mean, Hall's playing a bit low. I want to test Benito. I'm going to put him there. So we've got young flanks there. We're going to leave it at that for now. And we'll see. We'll just see how we go with everything else. So we're looking good. We're looking motivated and we're looking convinced. Sandu with a nice goal kick there. Mullen to Lewis to Spencer. Good to have him back. Finds Pike. Pike goes back into Spencer, goes to Lewis again, who finds Singh. Singh. Okay, so it's with the coast now, Central Coast. They're trying to unlock us. Or potentially, I was waiting for an FM moment there. I tell you, it was close. Okay, so Spencer to Lewis, back to Spencer. Goes long and wide, finds Hull. Will he cross it? He does. Mal, the big unit, doesn't get it though, and doesn't able to get in the goal there. We are doing well. I think we will make a change, however. And looking in the middle, I think we'll put Rose on. I want to put Rose on for Lewis. Confirm. Actually, and I want to go, we're going to go counter and confirm. Excellent. Okay. So things are going well. Last couple of minutes of normal time. 5 minutes has been indicated. Hey guys, as I'm recording this, tomorrow morning New Zealand time, England versus Belgium. I have put a 2-2 draw down. I think playing second in the group, finishing second in the group might be a good deal for us. But I'm actually quietly confident. I think we've got a good team here. And I think with the way some of the other bigger teams have struggled and are lining up now in the second round, it could be a bit more open for us. But we won this game. Not 2, but 3-1. So I'm pretty happy with that. Where's my mouse? I just lose my mouse sometimes in this damn white screen. So excellent, guys. I'm going to go assertive, a good win, well done. Top of the pops. And we'll leave the match there, guys. All right, so I am, as always, Parkera. It's been a pleasure having you here. This is the kickoff to Season 2, where we are going to push hard to do the double again. Unfortunately, no FFA Cup. Some have asked, some have hinted, what are the terms after the season with the Phoenix? I'll share those thoughts later on in the season. But we'll share them later on in the season. We'll see how we go. But it's been great having you. If you hit that like button, if you like this video, if you're new, please do subscribe to the channel. If you are subscribed, hit that notification bell. And as always, please, comment down below. It really means a lot. I love reading the comments. I love getting the comments, and I'll make an effort to try and reply to all of them. I think I always do. All right, guys. See you later. Kia ora, New Zealand.